Okay, so I got this reader question, and the reader says, Roy, my biggest challenge is figuring out how to build enough trust and credibility in my sales letter or webinar when the product is new and I have no testimonials. So I have a new product. How can you compensate for the lack of testimonials and copy? Thank you very much, David. And fair enough question. And it's a situation that you deal with any kind of product launch, right? So how do you build trust and credibility when you have no testimonials to include in your marketing and include in your copy? Well, first things first, I actually have a handful of suggestions for you. But first things first, I will say that you can actually get testimonials. If you feel like you need testimonials, and testimonials and client stories, customer stories are a great way to get credibility and build trust. If you feel like you need them, you can find a way to get them. So you could offer free service to early adopters. You could offer discounted service to early adopters. You can actually make it part of the offer where you ask them for testimonials. So I've actually been doing this for probably longer than I need to, but I have been offering a coupon code for my copy review service where I say, if you're willing to give me a testimonial, I will take this much off your price. And I actually, the conditions of it are only if you're extremely happy and want to give me a testimonial. But the expectation, like when you enter this coupon code and you're buying this service, the expectation is that at some point I'm going to come knocking and I'm going to say, hey, let's sit down and record a testimonial video. We'll do it over Zoom, right? Let's sit down and record a testimonial video and you can explain what you thought of the service. And so I included that with the offer. And, most people will take you up on a deal like that. And if you have a little like side note, a little whatever, hey, I would love, we're collecting testimonials for this as a new service. And we'd love to give you a discount in exchange for your testimonial. And so what we want you to do is buy it on the understanding that if and only if you decide that this is, worth whatever, go out and do it. An alternative thing is that you can just launch without testimonials and just make sure that you are collecting them from your first few customers and add them in the end. But the reality is that testimonials are one of, I've identified 26 different types of proof, credibility, and believability elements. And you can build trust with all of them. You can build believability with all of them. And testimonials are just one method. So for example, I'll give you a handful of them here. For example, your story. If you invented a product because you needed to solve your own problem, your own challenge, whatever it was, your story is a testimonial for the product of a sort. It's one way that you can build trust by telling your own compelling story of how you overcame this problem and how you identified what it was going to take. And yeah, people will automatically trust other people more than they trust you if you're selling them something. But telling your story and telling it in like a very human way is a very compelling way to build trust and credibility and believability without a testimonial. If there's another origin story that you've identified for this product or service, whatever it is that you're selling, like the question didn't ask for one specific product. So if you've identified some other origin story that essentially lays out the proof of why this works. So it could be somebody else's. It could be, you learn by watching somebody. There is proof in that. Having a proven process to manufacturing, if it's a physical product, or a proven process to invention, or a proven process to the creation of your system, or if you're, let's say you're selling copywriting services and you're actually using somebody else's, like if you use my high velocity copywriting templates, you can get some credibility by explaining that you have a proven process in place. Credentials. I mean, the reason that we go through certification programs or degree programs, that sort of thing, is to develop these credentials. And these credentials are not testimonials, but they do carry weight and they can build trust. And I'm not saying that, just because you have a certification, you're capable of doing something, but it does indicate something. And if you have it or you can get it, it can be absolutely something that will build trust. Borrowed proof from media. So one of the things so let's say you are, for example, selling a chiropractic service. What I mean by borrowed proof from media is if you can find, for example, a sports star or some other high performance person or a celebrity, a famous person who has had an article written about them where they talk about their how it's critical that they go and visit their chiropractor on a monthly basis or a weekly basis or something, and you're selling chiropractic services. Well, that's a great way to borrow proof from media where you say, this person says that they go to their chiropractor every month, even when they're feeling great, and we offer chiropractic services, or, this person says that, they always, whatever it is, right? By identifying different people who are celebrities or authorities in your market who would get name recognition, who have been featured in media talking about solutions like yours, products like yours, as long as you are not implying that they actually endorse you. But if you can point to that article and say, hey, this person said this about this, and you do not make that direct endorsement claim, you can gain some proof and credibility there. Likewise, any kind of media claims, you can say, hey, in the Wall Street Journal, it said this about investing. In whatever, like Men's Health, it said this about fitness. In whatever the publication is, it said this about our topic, right? And if it's a trustworthy publication, any kind of proof that you can borrow from the media there is going to help you. One other thing that you can do to increase trust is just have a rock solid guarantee to reverse the risk of the transaction, to make it clear that your prospect is not taking on the risk of the transaction and that you are. And the stronger your guarantee, as long as you make it in a very believable way, and as long as you stand behind it, because if you don't stand behind your guarantee, you're going to get in some trouble. But as long as you stand behind that guarantee, it can convey loads of trust. Anything that says, hey, I believe that I can get you the result that you're buying this for, is going to convey loads of trust with or without the testimonial. So there's a lot of options, and there's a lot more options. I have a whole proof, credibility, and believability training as part of my BTMS Insiders training library, where I go into the 26 types of proof and credibility that I identified. And if you did want to go much deeper, that would be one place that you could look for even more. So don't think that the only way to get trust or believability or credibility is with testimonials. You have a lot of options. You just have to look and say, what makes me trust the message more if this person has this or this or this? And how can I then, flipping roles, how can I, as the copywriter, as the marketer, gather all of these additional pieces of proof and credibility and believability without necessarily having testimonials to launch? And then as we get testimonials, we can add them in and add them in and add them in and add them in. And then you end up with a much stronger piece in the end, because you're not just leaning on, these people said these things. All right. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found this little lesson and why. Also, tap that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. You can certainly share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. You can subscribe here. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com, get my daily emails Monday through Friday, including these videos and more content. I'll also include a link in the description where you can submit your own question to have it answered in an upcoming video. My name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Check out those links in the description if you want to go deeper. And I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value. I hope that I've delivered it here, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video issue. I'll see you soon. Bye.